All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back today and we are still working in topic 3 functions, and we are doing student activity sheet 3, which is exploring tables and rules. Okay, so you remember from our assignment from the other day, we took notes about the soccer team was trying to pick a flower shop for their fundraiser. So they had either the Roses Are Red shop, or we have the Flower Power shop. So with this, let's go through and do a couple of things here. So in order for us to determine which group we're going with, we need to do a little bit of math and a little bit of research with this. So what I want to do is I want to take some time. So let's just go through and see what it's going to cost us for ordering different numbers, the process that they go through, and the cost in dollars. Okay. If you remember, Roses Are Red did $20 fee plus 75 cents per rose. So with that, we go through and we're going to show the process that they have the $20 plus 12 times the 75 cents. And we got for 12 roses, we've got $29. For 24 roses, we got $38. For, be careful on your chart here, it jumps down a little bit. For 36 roses, we got $47. Okay. So we have our 12 filled in. Be careful because we skip a line. We have 24. And then again, be careful because we skip a line down to 36. And they said, well, maybe we should get some more information. So let's also find out what 32 is going to cost us. And then let's go back and figure out how in the world are we going to figure this out here? Okay. So what they said, okay, well, if we only have $37.25, how many roses can we figure out? And what they did here was they worked backwards. They said, well, we know I'm going to have my $20 fee. So they took the $20 out of this and found that we're left with $17.25. And they divided that amongst the 75-cent cost, and they found that it's going to cost 23 cents. Don't panic if I went through that class. We're going to go back through a little bit. Okay. Now, before we get to the next part, a couple things I want to talk about here. What in the world is an expression? Well, this is kind of what we were just dealing with on our return to learn that we did like a week ago with our distribution and combining like terms. Okay. An expression is a combination of variables, numbers, and operations. So an expression could be something like 2x plus 3, or 20 plus 5x, or 15 minus 2x. Okay. As long as you've got numbers, variables, and then math operations in there, that would give us an expression. Again, a reminder about variables. Variables are simply just letters that replace numbers. Okay. So again, we're going to replace numbers with the letters, and that would be called a variable. What I want to go back and look at is this equation. What would the formula be? If we've got a service fee of $20 plus 75 cents per rose, we could call this $20 plus 75 cents R. And what that says is that there's a $20 service fee plus 75 cents per rose times each rose. Okay. So what they said is, hey, let's come down here. Let's show that it doesn't matter how many roses we order. We're going to replace that with the letter X. And then the Y. We don't necessarily know how much dollars there's going to be. So we're going to replace that with the Y here. And as a reminder, guys, if you need to write this down, our X is always going to be our independent variable. Independent variable, our Y is always going to be dependent. Remember, that's coming back here. Okay. So with this, what we're going to say is, here's the process. Well, here's our letter and here's our other letter. This is what it actually looks like in an equation. Y, the total cost, equals 75 cents per rose plus a $20 service fee. Okay. let's go on to number 2. Actually, you guys are going to do number 2 on your own, or try to do number 2 on your own. So right now we're going to skip past that and go down to number 3 for me. But this, we may have to go through a couple of slides here. We're going to skip that one. Okay. So now we're going to do the same thing, except this time, instead of the Roses Are Red company, we are going to do the Flower Power company. So something I want you guys to remember, again, is that Flower Power had a $60 service fee, plus they charged 50 cents per rose. Okay, so let's start to fill out our table here. I had 12 roses ordered. I said 60 plus my 50 cents per 12 roses gave me $66. When I ordered 24 roses, I could plug that in and get $72. If I order 32 roses, I get $76. And if I order 36 roses, I get $78. But now here's the thing, guys. I want to see how much it's going to cost me to get, if I have $81.50, how many roses am I actually ordering? Well, we're going to work backwards. This is where we put in our expression of 60 plus 50 cents per we don't know. Okay? And what we have to do is solve that. So again, we're going to work backwards on this. Here's that same exact expression. Okay? $60 service fee plus the 50 cents per rose gave me $81.50. So the first thing I did is I subtracted this service fee to bring it down to $21.50. Well, I just simply split this up, division, $21.50 divided by 50 cents. Don't forget to include that decimal, and I get 43. So again, I know that if I only have $81.50, it's going to cost, I'm going to be able to get 43 roses. All right. Moving down here, just like we did up here with the Roses Are Red company, we can replace our number ordered with our X variable and our cost in dollars with our Y variable, using our process here to come up with the equation. Let me write it out here for you. Y equals 60 plus 0.50x. Okay. Now, something I want to take note of. Again, this is that equation I just came up with. We are going to call both the Roses Are Red and the Flower Powers a function. And in a little bit, you guys will sit and think about, well, why are they actually a function? But what another way we can write this is f of x, okay? The function of the number of roses is this from this specific company. So let's go ahead and go to the next question, okay? We're going to skip number 4 for me. Okay, you're going to skip number 4. That's going to be part of your homework, and we'll discuss tomorrow in class. And let's go down to number 5. Okay, they want us to use that function rule that we got for our Roses Are Red to calculate some information. Well, what I wanted to do is I wanted to go back first and rewrite this as an actual function rule. Okay, you have to use this R of X. You could use F of X, T of X, Q of X, whatever you want of X, guys. Why did I choose R? Because the company was called Roses Are Red. That's why I chose R. Okay. The R stands for Roses Are Red. The X stands for my number of roses. And again, Roses of Red company said $20 plus 75 cents per rose. So per, we talked about that. That means to multiply. Okay. So they want to know from Roses Are Red using this function, what is the cost of 30 roses going to be? So what I did here is I said, now guys, this is not math right here. All this is saying is that I am going to replace the X in my equation with the 30. The cost of 30 roses from Roses Are Red equals 20 plus 75 times 30. Okay. And when we simplify that out, We can follow each step down, and we get that it's going to cost us $42.50 for 30 roses from the Roses Are Red company. Okay. Now this time, okay, this time we're going to go through and they give us $100. This time we want to know how many roses can we buy for $100. So here's our original function. R of X equals 20 plus 0.75X. Well, I'm going to go through and I'm going to replace that R of X with $100. Okay. And just like we did on the other page, we're going to work backwards to solve this. We're going to say subtract the 20 to get 80. And then we need to divide by 0.75 to get 106.66 equals X. Now remember, guys, X stands for roses. Can I buy 106.6 roses? No, you cannot buy that. My husband probably tried to do that at one point. I mean, he bought me a fake rose, and does that count as a sixth of a rose? Does it cost more than a rose because it's never going to die? There's some questions that go with it. But when it comes down to it, guys, he bought me a fake rose. It's not real. It doesn't count. We cannot have 66 hundredths of a rose. So we need to round, okay? With that, we would not be able to buy 107 roses. We don't have enough money. That would cost more than the $100. So we actually have to round down to get 106 roses. Now we're going to go through the same thing here with our flower power. Okay. If you remember their function, and I chose F this time instead of the R. R was for the Roses Are Red company. I chose F for the Flower Power company. So here, guys, their function was 60 plus 0.5x. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to go through and I'm saying the function of 30 roses from Flower Power. The function of 30 roses from Flower Power. So 30 roses from Flower Power is going to cost us $60 plus 0.50 times 30. That simplifies to 60 times 15, which simplifies to 75. I would read this answer as 30 roses from Flower Power cost $75. The function of 30 equals 75. And again, from Flower Power, it would cost me 75 roses to buy 30 roses. Sorry, $75 to buy 30 roses. Going on down here, time we go back up to the here's $100. What can I buy? So again, I'm going to plug that in. 100 equals 60 plus 0.50x. Get that 60 out of here. Let's take away that upfront fee, and I get 40 equals 0.5x. Well, divide by 0.5, divide by 0.50, and we get that it's going to cost us 80 buckaroos. $80. Sorry, not $80. Wow, sorry, that's 80 roses. See, we got to be careful about what we're paying attention to our variables here, guys. So again, 80 roses from Flower Power is what we can buy with $100. So that is it for our notes on that. You're left with number 7, 8 is there, and that's it. Okay, so you have number 2, number 4, number 7, and 8 that you need to attempt to go through, and we will discuss those tomorrow in class.